Everyone. I am so excited to be here and just be with you all today. It is 8:30, around 8:30 at night in Spain. I am in the mountains. It's crazy. It's so beautiful here. And yeah, I'm just delighted to be here and talk to you all. Today we're going to be talking about healing and being with our grief through the body and how empowering it is when we are able to feel and heal. And yeah, I if any of this resonates with you, I have my art prints link in my bio. And if you want to be in the email list, you can get a discount for if you drop on the email. So yeah, we're gonna be talking for a little bit and tuning in to this and the lessons and stories around this. All right, so we'll get started. I'm also going to be going live weekly, so tune in each week. So today we're going to be talking about some stories around healing and through the body and grief. I have found that I am the most happiest. This is from the last 6 years of really being into embodiment practices, healing, and really finding pure joy in the heart and the soul and creating from that space. And it's changed my life. A little backstory. I went through really hard ending of a relationship in 2019, and that awakened me into what does it mean to live a full life? What does it mean to really want to live and love from a place of really pure joy and expansion and creativity and hello and yeah, just what does that really look like to live from this place of joy and love? And so um, that is when it's awakened to me, and then from grief that I experienced, learning how to heal myself through I healed through in a diagnosis of mental health issues. It was really, really challenging, but I came out the other side of it. So this is where this is all coming from. So back. Um, so yeah, I recently been on this journey. You know, I just moved here to Spain, and I decided to do this. It was actually a pretty quick decision, but I knew my body, it felt right to do this. And hello, tuning in. And it felt right to do this in my body more than anything. And there's so much beauty and so much unknown in this. And also just taking one day at a time. But through this, there's been grief, you know. I think I've noticed myself wanting to push and push and push and noticing the mind pushing. And then slowing down and being like, hey, like, it's okay to pace yourself. It's okay to not push all the time. And so last night I allowed myself to really move through some deep grief around it, and it just like cleared a lot for me through the body. And I really believe that when we make space for us to like allow ourselves to cry and grieve, it creates that space and for peace, real peace and joy and love and like deeper, more authentic connection with one another. I was also moving through some grief from past heartbreak that I was still moving through, and I was like, it's okay to allow that grief to move through us, because when we just avoid it, it creates discomfort in the body, which eventually creates disease. So yeah, so and it's not always fun. It's like, okay, I'm in a mood. What's happening? Why am I in a mood? I'm taking good care of myself, but what is the root of this? And so just coming back to allowing, to surrendering, and I have these really big dreams and they are not there yet, and allowing myself to be okay with that, allowing myself to grieve and be like, hey, it's okay that your biggest dreams are not here yet. And so just creating that space, intentional space to move it through your body. And, in neuroscience, they say that, it's thought. You start off with thoughts, and then those thoughts turn into feelings, and then the feelings turn into action. But from a somatic approach, it's like if you're specifically dealing with grief is stored in the body. If you have a loss of someone or any grief that you've experienced, your grief is always the biggest grief that you have. But when you're tending to it, it's so important to move through the body through it and allowing space for it, because it doesn't matter what your mind is saying. Your mind is saying a million things, but the body really keeps the score, right? And so from a somatic approach, like, it's okay to be positive a lot of the times, and it's healthy to be positive. And also, it's also important to be authentic and real and be like, this is what's real. This is what's alive for me. Like, this is like really aching. My heart is aching. My body's aching. My soul is aching. And, sometimes I have friends hold me through that. Sometimes I have loved ones. Where I'm just doing it by myself and be like, hey, can you just hold me while I just move through some grief in my body? Sometimes it's alchemizing it through art, or not, it doesn't always have to be art and transmuting it to something great. Sometimes it's like, I just really need a good cry and just feeling deeply. And so that's my mission, is to continue, we need to feel, we need to, even when it's challenging. Yes, it's very important from a neuroscience perspective to change our thoughts and change our identity. And if we want a specific outcome, it's beautiful work to do, mental work, but it's also really powerful to live a life of feeling and moving. So, yeah. And I am passionate about this because, in 2019, after I went through a really, really big, ending of a relationship that was 7 years, and it was a divorce, and it was so hard, and I had no idea who I was at the time by myself. I was like, who am I? And I turned to art and creativity. I turned to plant medicine journeys. I turned to, working with plant medicines, which can be beautiful. But what really, really healed me was sitting with my grief and coming from a place that's like an embodied space, through contact and improv dancing, through breath work, and really, really allowing myself to feel instead of all in the mind. Neuroscience is beautiful, but there's something really powerful about healing through the body. So let's see. I have a couple of other things. We're about halfway through the live, and I wanted to share, if you resonate with any of this, I have a lot of my artwork that is on my website, and it's artwork really based on this. What does it mean for us to heal and awaken and really represent this in our spaces, in our homes, in our communities? And what does it mean for us to have artwork even by our altar and be like, hey, this is really, I totally resonate with this. I'd love to have some of this work in my space. So check it out, link in bio. If you do the email drop, you get a percentage off your first print. So, okay, we're halfway there. I kind of wanted to share a couple more stories about healing and feeling to heal. Well, I'll just share one more thing, actually. It's really been interesting being here. I'm just arriving in Europe, and one of my friends was telling me about how this is just more on like helping like be as a business owner. You know, he was saying when you move to a new place, that's like when it's the easiest to set new habits because you're in a new environment and you tend to want to, like, it's easier to start new habits. So I started doing in the morning. Oh, I have two things I want to share. In the morning, I haven't been looking at my phone at all, and I've been on, like, it's been amazing. I turn off my notifications. It's been really, really amazing to start off my morning without that. And like, I sit by my altar and I either play music or I sing or I write or I journal or I pray, and I just sit by my altar. And you know, a lot of people, I was talking to a friend today about this, like, hey, I really want to have more like spirituality in my life and my work, and what does it mean for me to have more of that in my life? And I was sharing with him, just create an altar, like have a space, a devoted space where every day you sit, whether it's you pray, you sing, you write, you dance, and you just spend time with yourself. If you pray to whoever you pray to, you know, it's interesting. My grandmother, my great grandmother that has passed, she was on my altar. And little did I know, I found out recently that she spent a lot of time here in this area. And hold on, I have to pause. Hold on. I guess I can't pause. Just a second, y'all. Hola, ¿qué tal? That's a little neighbor here. So, um, yeah. So, oh yeah, the audio's working. Um, so yeah, my great grandmother actually spent time here. Little did I know. And you know, so just like praying, being in that prayer of like, this is what I want to do. How can I experience this? Or yeah, so just having an altar space is really, really special and has really impacted the way that I take action on whatever it is that I'm working on, my mission, and being in a relationship with others and things like that. So yeah, wanted to share that. And so yeah, I feel like some takeaways as we close out is yeah, how can you create more space and time for yourself to tend to your grief, whether that's through like singing or dancing or moving it through your body. How can we create more intentional time? So thank you so much for tuning in. Link in my bio for my prints that really evoke all of everything that we're sharing, evoke presence into your space. So thank you so much, and check it out, link in bio. I love you, thank you, and sending you love on your beautiful night. Ciao.